Alright guys, so we usually do some sort of fancy intro talking about the origin of food I'm making, but I kinda have no idea what to talk about, because mac and cheese is a monstrosity of different shit. But this recipe has Parmesan and truffle oil in it. So let's show some clips from my trip to Italy. What up YouTube? Welcome back to my cooking show. This kitchen is Bitchin. And today we have a very special recipe. And it's honestly a pretty simple one, but it's delicious. That's right, we're making truffle 3-cheese mac and cheese. So this is what we're using today. We're using a Parmesan, Gruyere, and a white cheddar. But most importantly, if you've seen my Instagram, you know I just took a trip to Italia. And it's at This Kitchen 69, by the way, link in bio. And I got this amazing truffle oil. And what's the better way to put it to the test? So let's get it going. So let's get started by grating my cheese. And I'm using 3 different types of cheeses. I'm using a soft cheese, a semi-soft cheese, and a hard cheese. And I'm using a aged white cheddar, a Gruyere cheese, and a Parmesan. We're gonna want a decent amount of cheese, because trust me, it ain't easy being cheesy. But into some salted boiling water, we're gonna put our pasta for about 7 to 8 minutes, because we want it just below al dente. Because we're gonna bake it and toss it into some cheese sauce. Which, by the way, we're gonna start out by mixing some butter, some flour, and a nice basic roux. And once it starts cooking down like this, we're gonna want to add our milk. We made a roux for our whiz in our cheesesteak video. So if you guys watch that, it's the same basic idea. We're just using some different cheeses. We're gonna mix that around a little bit and make sure it's melting down all nice before we add our cheese. So we're going to start with our Gruyere cheese and throw that all in because it was the plate closest to me. I don't think there's any order that you should put your cheese in, but as long as you all mix it up, I mean, it's all going in at the same time. But after that's melted down a little bit, I'm going to put my, my aged white cheddar in from handfuls at a time, because you want to keep a little for the top. So don't put everything that you shredded in there, but put most of it. And now I'm starting to realize I shredded a lot of fucking cheese. Now it's time to put our Parmesan cheese in there. And once again, we want to save a little bit for the top, because that'll be good on the top. I didn't save any Gruyere because I didn't think of it and that I had to do it, but it'll be just fine with the white cheddar and Parmesan. So then once you get all of that in there, you get your wooden spoon out and you mix that all around until it turns into a beautiful cheese sauce. So it's also incredibly important that we season our roux or cheese sauce. And as you can see, I already put some black pepper in there, forgot to film it. We're gonna put a bunch of salt in there. We're gonna mix that around before the most important seasoning comes in. And you'll see exactly what it is. It's the goddamn truffle oil. And this is some super special truffle oil shipped all the way in from this winery in Italy. I know I said it in the intro, but the flavor's super rich, so you don't want to use too much. Definitely don't put it generously in there, because it's hard to come by and it's pretty expensive. My parents were ordering all this wine and stuff, and my sister was ordering wine, but I'm a guy and I drink beer. Anyway, we're putting this cooked pasta into the cheese sauce and roux, and just mixing it again with a wooden spoon, making sure all the flavors are introduced to each other. And this is super important, and it's really good that I use this type of pasta because of all of the ridges. The cheese sauce will get like all in it and whatnot. and it'll be like completely coated, and I mix like an absolute jackass. Don't really know what I'm doing here, but we're gonna put it into this greased up pan. I probably didn't need to butter it up, but I mean, just to be safe, I put it in this buttered up, greased up pot, this nice little mac and cheese pot, and once we fill the whole thing up, we're gonna put some breadcrumbs on top of it. Now these are some Italian breadcrumbs that I put some melted butter in, and I mixed it up with some of the white cheddar and some of the Parmesan. So it's a little mixture that we're just gonna cover the top with, and then we put it in the oven. So clearly this isn't a very healthy dish, but you've probably already said fuck it to your New Year's resolution, so why not make this at home? Because look how pretty that looks. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Welcome back, guys. Hope that was a very informative video. So now, it's time to try this masterpiece, the Truffle. What? 3 cheese mac and cheese. So, let's get on with it. Certified bitchin'. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you can see more certified bitchin' meals. This kitchen is bitchin'. Goob out.